Baptist preacher Charles Spurgeon once said that a person couldn't be a true Christian if his cat or dog wasn't the better off for it. Now the question is it true? Is it true that Christianity or any other religion really benefits animals? And this has been the subject of the first summer school of the Oxford Centre for Animal Ethics. During the last 30, 40 years, there's been an enormous increase in public discussion about the way we treat animals, what we owe them, what duties we have to them, whether animals have rights. In fact, some people have argued that there's been more intellectual discussion about animals during the last 30 years than there was during the previous 3,000. In other words, we're moving through a kind of paradigm change, a move from the idea that animals are things, tools, commodities here for our use, to the idea that as sentient beings, they have their own dignity, value, and rights. Now, the question is, given this considerable social movement that's now being earthed, actually, in almost every country in the world, the question is, how will religion respond to it?
Right at the beginning of the Jewish rabbinic tradition, a rabbi puts in the mouth of God the following words: "This is the world that I've created. Take very great care of it, because there's nobody going to put it right after you if you mess it up."
Comparatively speaking, Jainism is extremely positive regarding concern for animals and all of life. One of possibly the fundamental principle of Jainism is the concept of ahimsa, or nonviolence, and they take one of the strongest views of that within the Indic traditions and promote nonviolence and the care for all of life.
Well, is Catholicism animal friendly? I would say no, it isn't, with very few exceptions, but quite a few people are trying to make it more animal friendly. From Catholic social teaching, the common good or social justice should also include animals. All sentient beings, and so animals have to be regarded as part of the Catholic tradition of Catholic teaching, because we have to do justice towards animals too.
We have actually got quite a long way to make up, certainly within the tradition that I represent, the Anglican tradition. I think we are making progress. I think we're finding our way to taking seriously the needs, the welfare and the rights of the entire created order.
Religious traditions can be made animal friendly, I would say, when they go deep into their foundations. If we take religious traditions as seeking ultimate truth, that truth will have something to do with what it is that makes us who we are in relation to a supreme truth or supreme being, and that will bring us in relation to all of the supreme being's creation.
Within African religious traditions, there is mention is made of of respect, towards the non-human environment and non-human animals. The ultimate purposes to which animals exist, are essentially human purposes.
Undoubtedly, there is a positive attitude that we humans are entitled to make use of the animals, but we should do so in such a way as respects their dignity, their particular character. We should use the animals but not abuse them.
The faith tradition of the Native Americans was holistic. It was fully grounded in the non-human world. It's obvious that since European contact and progressively that this is presented a dilemma in the sense that it can't operate the way they used to, but the traditions are still there, the concepts are still there. In Lakota, the tradition is we are all related, mitakuya or yasin.
In the Buddhist tradition, the world over, animals and humans are regarded as both seeking happiness, both wanting to avoid suffering, and both having the potential to reach enlightenment. And so unlike other traditions, perhaps, the difference between humans and animals is not necessarily one of substance, but one of degree. And for that reason, Buddhism has strong ethical principles relating to animals and kindness towards animals.
I think that feminist Christianity has certainly added something to the whole discussion about theology and animals. In fact, I think it might have been amongst the first to raise the question of animals in theology in a very positive and creative way.
Now, I think if you go to the Quran, you will see, if you look at it through a legalistic perspective, we think, well, this is pretty negative. We've got slaughtering animals for food, we've got the sacrifices, we've got permission for hunting and fishing. But if you look at the Quran more broadly, you find that it's extremely positive. And only about 200 verses are legal texts. Another 6,000 of polemic, of wonderment at the signs of God's power and generosity in nature and in history, and other material. And there you find a very positive image of animals. Animals, all creatures, all living creatures, belong to communities like you. And the word community is the plural of ummah, the word used normally for a group of people with a religious identity.